All right, what's up, fellas? So this is still in the garage. I have been working on it a little bit over the last however long since my last video. Only it's not work that shows like progress going forward. It's more like stuff that required a lot of work but didn't show anything. One of them was I had to take this header back off to get a little clearance with a hammer. If you can see down there, right there at the firewall below the AC drip line, it was hitting. So I didn't like that, because on the Stupor Trooper it did the same thing and melted the carpet to the floorboard. So because I got polyurethane motor mounts on here that are minty, I got them from Amir. It raised it up a little bit. Supposedly the high energy motor mounts don't raise the engine up quite as much. The reason I put poly on here because there's a tendency for the oil pan to touch on the steering rack. I didn't want that, so I had to raise that up. And then I had to take this header back off to get the dipstick in, because there's just no way to get access to tighten it up. I got the plug out of the pan. I can show you what it's like on here. This is the 347. See how it screws in like so? So I had to take the header back off of here so I could get the dipstick in, which is like a huge pain in the butt. But and then let's see, where was I going? Oh yeah, I got most of the front accessories on, the alternator's on. I was going to put the power steering in, then realized, hey, this ain't going to work because the fan's in the way, so I got to pull the fans back off in order to get this back in. I think Hershey snuck out. The storm coming and she gets scared. So I've been working, but just not anything of note. And but I did run the oil pump this morning. Got it lubed up. It does turn over with the key when I push the clutch in. That's good, everything. And then I pressurized the fuel system. You know, I always do that after I've disconnected everything, had like injectors out or whatever, before I put the upper intake on, just so it's a lesson learned, because more than a few times, put everything back together, turn the fuel pump on, and it'll squirt out of one of the O-rings at the injector. And yes, I know those look suspiciously like 24-pound injectors, but they're actually 42s. I just painted them to make them look like 24s. A little sneaky. And I guess that's about it. I'm gonna take the fans off, put this in, fill it up with antifreeze, put the upper intake on. Oh yeah, and you might have noticed I sprayed this with a copper gasket. I don't know what it's called. Spray gasket, this stuff. I've heard, maybe read it on the internet, that it does help in preventing the gaskets from sticking if you take it on and off a few times. So I'm gonna give it a try, and hopefully it's a long time before I have to take the upper off, but we'll see how it goes. So anyway, it's Saturday morning, middle of the morning, fixing to get after it. So we'll probably do another one later tonight or maybe tomorrow, and then put this up because I know it's been a while. Also, I did score something off of eBay. You guys are gonna laugh, but you'll see. I'll do a video just of that thing when it shows up. It's supposed to be sometime next week, so I think you'll like it. Yeah, I told Michael and Rodney about it. They were laughing, so you'll see next week. Later, fellas. All right, fellas, so it's Monday evening. I did get some work done on this weekend. I got everything pretty much put together here in the engine bay. I still have to put the clamps up there for the brake lines, mount the what is it, map sensor, BAP sensor, whatever that is, and put the fenders on. I'm going to sand this part down. It's got the wrinkle paint on it. And I've got to fix, I think the ground isn't good on my MSD, because the MSD didn't work. So yeah, I just fired it up, set the timing. Idle's junk because it's got, I just put like a base tune in there because I got the different injectors and whatnot. And it's got bullets off the headers because the X pipe for my Mac headers won't fit the BBK headers. So it's a touch loud, plus I got an open port on the exhaust tube for the wideband, but it does run. It hunts a little bit at idle, but it runs. Don't make any bad noises, I can tell. So that's a little bit of progress. So that's a good thing. Glad to finally get to this point. I still got a lot to do on it. I'm going to get it outside this week and take all that junk out over there. I got a different shelf unit to put in. I'm going to get rid of those in the corner. I think I can make it a little more, arrange it a little better with a different shelf. And then I'll turn this around and bring it in and put in the what you call it, control arm reinforcements, and swap out that goofy Auburn, I think it is, in the rear end. And it'll be a little closer. Then the final will be to take care of the paint, get the hood on it, paint the hood, paint the cowl, paint this garbage, have all the bolts in the fenders when I paint it so it looks a little better, a little more uniform. And so got a little light at the end of the tunnel. So I'll get this loaded up. I'm about ready to wrap it up for the night. It's after 7. Just got to sweep all the zip ties from tucking in all the wiring. I had all the wiring in, then I realized I didn't have the wire to the alternator. What is it, the field wire? So I'd put that in the harness, and rather than just string it along by itself, I had one extra spots in this connector, so I had to go dig through my pile of other connectors like that. See, rodic does come in handy. And fished a couple of ends out of there and put them in here. Now it looks a little better than it used to, and it works, I think. I don't have any of the gauges hooked up. The dash still isn't in, so anyway, it runs, so I'm happy about that part. And that's it. I'll get her loaded. Appreciate all y'all, and we'll talk to you later on this week. We'll see what kind of progress we can make. Later.